Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me thank the gentleman from New York who passed the baton to R. Kelly and myself in 2015, and we've rounded the corner and put it back in his capable hands, along with our classmate, the Honorable Gentlelady from the great state of Ohio, Joyce Beatty, who is demonstrating day in and day out why she was such a great leader in the Ohio legislature and has brought those talents to bear on the entire nation. Madam Speaker, these are very serious times, and I want to start out by commending the President of the United States, President Obama, for, in the face of insurmountable odds, to not be hampered in wanting to do something with this terrible, terrible scourge that we suffer from in this nation. Gun violence impacts many different communities in this nation, some more than others, but it impacts us all. So I was proud to see the President step up and step forward and not be hampered in doing something. If the obstructionists on the other side of the aisle want to continue in that manner, then let them be. But he was going to do something. And so I want to commend my colleagues in the Congressional Black Caucus for uniting with the President in this great effort. We understand in our communities what this means. We are trying to articulate it to the American people, but we understand it, we live it, we feel it, we see it. The President's executive actions on gun control are steps in the right direction, but it is the responsibility of Congress to pass gun reform that makes our communities safer. I have joined, along with Robin Kelly, who mentioned two pieces of her legislation in terms of gun control, that after Sandy Hook several years ago, I proposed a piece of legislation that did not really see the light of day. But since the President has not given up on this effort, I will not either. I have a piece of legislation which is called the Safer Neighborhoods Gun Buyback Act. And we keep guns out of the hands of the wrong people by creating a voluntary federal gun buyback program. Under my bill, state and local governments, as well as gun dealers, would distribute smart prepaid debit cards to gun owners in exchange for their firearms. My bill incentivizes gun owners to voluntarily get guns off the streets. This will make our communities safer for our children, families, and our businesses. Common sense proposals like my bill are critical to ending our nation's epidemic of gun violence. This epidemic impacts every community in America, including in my district. Last year in the city of Newark, shootings increased 19% from 2014, and homicides rose by 8%. In 2015, there were at least 76 gun deaths in my district. 1/3 of all of the gun deaths in New Jersey last year happened in my district. Gun violence has had a disproportionate impact within the African American community and other urban areas. That is clear when you look at what's happening in my district throughout other African American communities in New Jersey, as opposed to other African American communities in New Jersey. We need a federal approach to gun violence because it is a problem across state lines. Case in point, New Jersey is a net importer of crime guns. In other words, more illegal weapons confiscated by law enforcement came from out of the state than that were purchased from in the state. Reducing gun violence is vital to the safety and security of American communities. My colleagues on the Republican side of the aisle should drop politics and pandering. They should instead join with Democrats in supporting the president and his common sense reforms, and like my gun buyback program, to address gun tragedies in all communities. And let me just say, Madam Speaker, no one wants to take guns away from anyone. We understand the laws and liberties that have made this nation great. But if we don't do something in reference to gun control, then it's shame on us. And with that, Madam Speaker, I yield back.